I kind of want to talk, and this is just really like off the cuff, um, about something that I see. I haven't really figured out what to call it, but as someone who's sort of getting into a lot of new age uh, ideas and models for healing and stuff, there's something I just want to talk. I haven't really felt exactly how I feel about it, but like, um, I feel like a lot of people in the forefront of media when it comes to new age self healing, the flavor that is current of that, are overwhelmingly white, young, hot, privileged people. Like, I mean, if you just like, you look in the spaces where you see people who are representing that, and you see that's what you see is they're hot, they're young, they're privileged, and it's all like good vibes, high energy, happy juices. Like you just gotta stay positive and appreciate all your wonderful blessings, and like, first of all, I want to say, in no way whatsoever am I hating on these people, because I acknowledge that no matter how privileged you appear to be, no matter how hot and healthy and young you are, you most likely have some legitimate trauma to heal from just living in this culture. Like, I'm not knocking their healing journeys, and I don't want to discourage anyone from sharing that they're healing. Those are good things. Absolutely. Like, I don't want to say that these people don't have legitimate problems. That they don't deserve to be processing their healing, or seeing a counselor or sharing their stories, because everybody has problems and traumas to process. Just because you have a nice house doesn't mean that you don't have like problems inside. But like, it's just interesting to look at, because like, I have friends, like particular friends that I look at who are very vocal about this healing journey and about positive vibes and raising your vibration and stuff. And one girl in particular who's kind of emblematic of all of them, I just look at her and she's like insanely hot. And she's been through some serious stuff in her past. But if you look at her life now, she has a beautiful family, a loving partner, a dream home, a really cool, unusual bohemian life. She's a performer, talented singer, articulate, a nice fan base, and she's not spoiled. Like, she's happy and appreciative of those things, as she should be. But like, and sometimes I compare myself to her, just because I tend to be really negative, and I consider myself to be on the same journey as she is. But look at my social media posts versus hers. I'm very raw, and I overshare a lot, and a lot of what comes out of me is just a lot of negativity, upset emotions, anger. Sometimes even, it can be almost vitriolic and rude, just because of how angry I am at the world, and I'm just processing my emotions and sharing that with people, and I try to do the positive thing, but it always these days seems to kind of rebound back into just very dark thoughts. And so I look at her and I just kind of feel like maybe she's kind of a better person than me, but then I'm just like, just look at where my life is compared to where her life is. Like, I don't have a family that I'm able to be around. I don't have a loving partner. I don't have my own kids. I don't have a home. Kind of everything I cared about was blown apart and lost. And I hate where my life is. And I just have a lot of incredibly fucked up shit to deal with right now. And I'm processing decades of severe trauma. and and so I'm just like, I kind of feel like a lot of the faces of New Age spiritualism and self-healing can sometimes miss the mark tonally because of who is speaking. And it's like, yeah, it's wonderful to have a good life and to have your life be working out the way that you want and to be happy about that. You absolutely, in our culture especially, you need to espouse being happy with good things, because a lot of people don't know how to be happy even if they have everything. You need to know how to be happy when you have everything. But when we're talking about trauma and we're talking about positivity and healing, there are a lot of people who don't have as much to be happy about. People whose lives are still in the dirt, who don't have so much to draw from to build that sense of self-love and these healing spaces and stuff. And they need to be spoken to as well. And I know I'm probably generalizing too much. Like, I don't, and I'm not knocking anybody in any way. It's just, I feel like the New Age movement is important, and New Age self-healing is important because it speaks very much to real human experiences. It speaks very much to my experiences. It speaks very much to what's going on in the whole world right now. And I think that we could use a bit more ugliness. We could use more faces and voices of people who are really going through dirt right now. And we could really use more realism, dirty realism even. And I'm not going to say that I know exactly what we should say about all those things, because I have a really hard time sitting with the ugliness, the most ugly things inside me and the most ugly things in the world. But that's why we need more of that out there. Because it's very easy for me with my homeless, crazy, immature, negative self, which is how I've been thinking of myself, a lot of beating myself up. It's easy for me to look at these more vocal people and think that maybe I'm just not doing as good of a job as they are of healing myself and being a good person and being the kind of person that I want to be. And the only way for me to get through the bad patches is to remind myself that I don't have to be perfect to be spiritual or to have a spiritual practice, and that I don't have to be perfect to have the support of whatever spirits are out there supporting me. And maybe to just kind of, it's a tricky one, because it's, especially if you tend towards rumination like I do majorly. I have a huge problem with rumination. It's very easy for sort of the shadow work of like going into the negativity and addressing the bad feelings and the evilness of the past. It's very easy for that to turn into just more rumination. And you do want to be putting positive things out there. But it can also be really triggering for people when you talk about trauma. So it's really tricky to deal with. But, I don't know. Also, it feels a little bit classist. I don't know, like, I just feel like it's a particular class of people that I usually see, like, being the voices of the New Age community and of healing, and a lot of the time, and we need some more of those less fortunate souls out there. The ones who, like there's this guy on Facebook I saw who was, he posted on an atheist forum about how God is an asshole, and how he hates life, and his whole family was, like, killed, and now he's homeless. And it's like, he's totally alone now because his whole fucking family just died in horrible ways. And like, just like, yeah, we need to be able to talk to those people. Those people we need to hear from them too. Because it's a lot easier to be positive and happy if, you know, you've got a big crystal collection on Instagram, and, you know, and that's how you occupy yourself, with making organic breakfasts and hanging out with all your friends and family. Like, yeah, you should be positive. And we need to spend more time. I mean, I think, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm saying at this point. I'm just saying it's really hard to speak to those people. And anyone who wants to be outspoken about improving your life and healing yourself in this day and age, in this culture, needs to be able to talk to those people.